Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Sport. Once again, it is the Barnes and Tony Show. Anthony, how are you, my friend?
Yo, dude. Feeling good. Early morning here on this beautiful Wednesday, dude. The sun's about to rise on us, dude.
Any coffee yet?
Me? No, actually, dude. Pretty funny. Went to my local coffee shop, and they weren't open. Well, they were just opening,
And you're like, well, I'm not going to wait.
And I'm like, oh, we got to
don't they open at 5?
Supposed to be. Yeah. So I don't know. Something.
What time were you there?
I don't know. This was like at 6. So I don't know. So Mike and I actually, when we were going to the gym together, everything early in the morning, sometimes that would happen too, like they would just be late for whatever reason.
Oh.
So I guess maybe something must have happened for them to be like, oh, like we're just getting in here. We gotta make the coffee still. And I was like, okay. But I'm like, I can't wait. Can't do it.
All I'm saying is I might start looking at plots of land, possibly to get a Donut Delight in the area to rival the Donut Inn.
You think it can handle it, dude?
I mean, I think they'd be open. Let me tell you that. There's a 24-hour one right around the corner from me.
24 hours? Really?
Yeah. So I'm just saying, I think that's pretty weak. I mean, this is your time of the morning. You think about Fairfield. I'm sure, obviously times have changed a little bit, but sure there's still a lot of people, going into the city that, wouldn't mind their coffee, maybe a bagel, on the way to the train. It's a close proximity, right? I mean,
yeah, no, I mean, I'm right there with you. But hey, man, I mean, I guess there's always after the show, huh?
Does it take them down a notch in your book, though?
I hate to say that it does,
but it does.
I mean, it's on my mind right now, you know, but it's fine, dude. It's all right.
And I forgot because I know we haven't really talked about this in a while, but with the coffee there, do you do you mix it up or do you have the same order every time?
Yeah, really the same order every time, dude. I don't really like venture away from the French vanilla with the almond milk, dude. I don't
sugar or no sugar.
Yeah. So
really?
Sometimes no sugar, sometimes sugar, depending on how many coffees I've had that day. You know what I mean?
Wow. I have to say, I didn't take you as a sugar person.
Really?
No.
Yeah, no, I enjoy it. It's nice. It makes the coffee go down a little easier. Sometimes we do no sugar with just almond milk, which is still fine, but you can tell the difference,
Well, I used to be, no joke, back in the day, it was three coffees from Dunkin' Donuts, large, all, cream and sugar. And probably for the last 4 years, switched to the just milk with the coffee or black.
You do whole milk in your coffee?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Honestly.
Doesn't matter?
Skim, whole milk, same thing.
You know what? I don't know, dude. Again, not Donut Inn. Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know, every time I ask them for whether it's almond milk or cream or milk, every time they just put so much, dude. And it's like white, the coffee, and it's always haste, dude. It's the milk. So I can't even do Dunkin' Donuts anymore, honestly. I really can't.
No. I mean, I don't think Dunkin' Donuts is good. And I think we talked about this too, but the cappuccino, dude, I feel like is the way to go. You're tight, though.
No, of course.
It has to be after dessert only. Is that the problem?
Well, I mean, where are you getting cappuccinos from?
Donut Delight.
They do it well?
Very well.
Really?
Very good there, Tony. Very good.
I'll tell you, I have to try it. Obviously, you mentioned the dessert, cappuccino a lot. I get, restaurants after my meal for dessert. I get a nice cappuccino.
Yeah.
I would not think to order one at Donut Delight, but I'll have to try it. I guess,
and right? I think it's just one of those things, and I think you're kind of like this, but for me, I feel like, is there really a time where you couldn't go for a coffee? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess not really, huh?
Like even late night, like I don't do it, but I could do it and then just sleep fine, and it's not a big deal. The occasional time though, where I really stretched it, maybe it was 3 or 4 coffees, and then it's like, oh, like during the night, you don't sleep that well. But.
No, it's funny. Yesterday, I had 2 coffees one pretty later in the day too. So like, last night around 7 o'clock, I was like pretty wired,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't understand people who can't have coffee after like, oh, dude, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I can't have a coffee. Like,
Well, that's just one of those things. Come on.
Honestly, come on, dude. Like, what are you talking about?
I think there's a bigger issue there, and it's not the coffee.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the best, and also don't delay. I don't know if I talked about this, but the food there is really good.
Do they have like full meals and shit you can get?
They have sandwiches. I haven't got that, but I was more just talking actually the pastries. But the almond croissant, Tony, toasted, unbelievable. Are you a guy that likes like the almond filling? Like, you know what I mean, for desserts, like almond cake or bars.
Yeah, on occasion.
I don't know. That filling is like it's like probably my favorite. It's like so good. But yeah, the almond croissant. Matt's huge on those. You usually get I think the strawberry cream cheese croissant.
That sounds really good.
And then the pistachio muffin.
Wow.
Best muffin I've ever had.
Dude,
hands down.
I think muffins in general, underrated.
Yeah.
Really are underrated. Muffins I love muffins, dude.
The Costco muffins growing up. We used to have it for breakfast every day before school. Heat it up in the oven because we would freeze them so they wouldn't go bad.
Right.
But yeah, you really no one has muffins though. You know what I mean? Muffins are they a thing of the past?
I think so. And even places that do have them, it's kind of hard to find a good muffin.
Right.
Sometimes they're like rubbery and like not that good, or they're not moist, or they're kind of dry inside. You're just dude.
What about someone? Oh yeah, I'm gonna make fresh muffins, and then they make bran or date muffins.
Oh yeah, no, thank you.
Like, what are we doing?
Go-to muffin.
Pistachio.
That's it.
No, I love. But the funny thing is, I love pistachio. I also love banana nut, chocolate chip, blueberry,
corn muffin.
Corn is one of those things. What are we doing?
Really?
What are we doing?
Dude, it's actually funny you mentioned that because growing up, my mom would get the Costco corn muffins, cut them in half, toast them, a little butter and jelly on it.
But I'm surprised no variety pack though. And also too from Costco, the cinnamon like coffee cake muffin from Costco.
Oh yeah, I've had that.
The blueberry, amazing.
Oh, dude.
And then the Costco Danish, Tony. Are you a Danish guy?
I do enjoy Danishes, but I don't think I've ever had the Costco Danish.
Yeah, the cheese Danish.
Cheese Danish.
You can't beat a good cheese Danish. You really can't.
Oh my god.
But actually in Jamaica for the they had cheese, but they also had lemon. I love like lemon filling. Like, do you like lemon bars or
no? No, I can't do like lemon in cakes or pastries or nothing. No, I can't do it.
Oh, the Danish, so good.
No.
So good. You're missing out.
I don't
you really
think so,
are.
dude.
I don't even have lemon bars that much, but let me tell you, pretty good.
I hate my dad loves carrot cake, lemon cookies.
You don't like carrot cake?
No.
Wow.
Carrot cake. What are you talking about, Brian? Why is carrot in cake?
Yeah, because the icing too, for some reason, is so good. I don't know if it's a different type of icing, if it's just regular vanilla. For some reason, it's just so good. I don't even have it that much, but I'm just saying.
Can't do it.
What'd you have for breakfast?
Nothing this morning.
Wow.
Nothing.
Not
dude.
Growling?
My stomach growling? No, not really, honestly. I ate pretty well yesterday. Mike had the bonitza. I had lunch. I had dinner.
What was for dinner?
I meal prepped some fried rice.
Okay.
So I made it's actually a pretty big meal prep. But my mom got me this big wok. So I got like broccoli, jalapenos, peppers, onions, garlic, carrots, threw the rice in there, the fried eggs, some chicken I made.
Oh yeah.
So it was, dude, yeah. Bought soy sauce, sesame oil, some chili paste, bro.
Oh yeah, I didn't know you go all out with the seasoning. That's pretty good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you got to season, especially rice and chicken. I mean, it's not. Yeah. You got to season. That
I have to say too. I have to give my roommate John a shout out. Last night, I had already eaten because you saw my tweet about the Chipotle.
Dude, that was hilarious. Dude.
But could you picture it though? This lady, like with an attitude too about like what's in each thing. Like,
really?
Because she got 10. Like of the 17, she had 10. And then the next person got 4, and then the next person got 3.
So she got like 10 burritos.
Yeah, and then all different things, and like kind of like, well, do you have this one? Like, what's in that? There's no sour cream in that. I'm waiting there for 20 minutes. But it was earlier. Went to the gym. Didn't really have much during the day, so I was kind of hungry.
Right.
And he came home late, and he made fillets from Trader Joe's. Seasoned it, unbelievable. Grill too. He got like a charcoal grill.
That's awesome.
Outside, and
you grill on your deck area,
he does. I don't. I just because No, it's not. It's the propane, and
Right.
I don't know. I just like when I was like my grill at my house, I was comfortable using, but I don't know. I haven't even really.
Is that like allowed to do?
Probably
Probably
not.
not,
Probably
right?
not. But I don't think the board is watching right now.
Yeah.
But it was so tender. I mean, like just it was literally like going to maybe the Capitol Grill or something like. So a steak you'd expect to cost like $80. Unbelievable. I think he said he went Montreal steak seasoning, a little sesame oil.
Nice. Dude.
So he put a couple different seasonings, but wow. And then mixed with Caesar salad from the bag, which I have to say, really good. I you expect Caesar salad from the bag. I mean, not a good dressing. Do you like Caesar salad though overall?
Oh yeah, love it. Favorite salad probably. Up there.
Oh my, are you so good though? So good. I mean, but and also like a antipasto salad is really good too.
Yeah, it is. Oh, dude, yeah. I like a good, honestly, a nice Cobb salad too.
Yep.
Sometimes. And you know what I do? Sometimes like there's a family restaurant we go to back home. I asked them to put a few pepperoncinis in my Caesar salad.
There you go.
Just put a few in there. And they do it table side too.
Yeah.
And they make it table side from scratch with the egg
with
yolk
the bread
and the anchovies, dude. Oh, so good.
Imagine if you just had some vodka sauce.
Oh my God, dude.
Anyway, Tony, nice little warm up here. What are you gonna have after you leave here, though? Are you going like breakfast sandwich or no?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it, dude. I'm definitely gonna go to Donut Inn, and get some coffee. And honestly, their breakfast sandwich, although it's still like the microwaved egg patty thing, I would say it's a step above what Dunkin' is, or like around there, which is nice. Their bagels, I believe, their bakery they're pulling it in from is in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
So their bagels solid. They're not like they're still like mass produced whatever out of some bakery, but they're tasty. So I might do that. That's a good go-to, honestly.
There you go.
Because especially like Donut Inn, you're there for coffee. It's cheap, dude. Coffee and a sandwich is like $4 there.
Wow,
it's ridiculous.
Large cappuccino, Donut Delight, $4.40.
Oof, dude.
But I swear, I didn't think coffee was that cheap at Donut Inn. You get a large coffee?
Medium.
And you said a medium and the sandwich is how much?
It's probably like $6.
I want to say it's like $7.85.
No. It's definitely definitely below 7. Okay, below 7. I would go there and get the sandwich and the fucking coffee.
Send me the receipt.
Yes.
I'm taking receipts. All right. Oh man, but yeah, I mean it's nice. Bargain bin. It's nice to have that option.
Oh yeah, dude.
But anyway, let's get started in the world of the National Hockey League.
Here's Matthews. Scores! Hat-trick goal!
My goodness, this is a great shot.
Big hit on the far side by Bacard! He flattens Jordan Stahl! Oh my goodness!
Gets the top right back, terrified and robbed by Shesterkin. That's brilliant from Igor Shesterkin.
It's a breakaway to win it in overtime! McDavid scores! The winner in overtime!
All right. So we had 8 games last night in the National Hockey League. No Rangers. So give me an opportunity. I haven't watched too many, standalone hockey games, that didn't involve the Rangers this year.
Right.
But I did get a treat last night as the Maple Leafs 5-4 in overtime at home against Florida. And this was a crazy game. You had 5 goals in the first period, Florida with the early lead. Toronto actually ends up pulling Samsonov, or not Samsonov, pulls Murray. Samsonov's supposed to get the night off. Because he let up 4 goals on 8 shots, which is just insane. But it was just so back and forth. And you think about Toronto here. Some of the usual suspects, Matthews had a power play goal, which was very impressive. End of the second period, Toronto down 2 goals, and there was literally 1.1 on the clock when he puts it in. So, that gave him some momentum going to the third. And then William Nylander, 6 minutes left in the third, ties it at 4 before winning it in overtime. I was so impressed by this Toronto team, and I think we spend so much time talking about how great Boston is and like us, looking up, competing with Boston. It's like, I think we got to think about Toronto too. Like it's like Toronto. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they beat Boston. They are really, really good. I think it will come down to their goaltending, and I think Samsonov is pretty good. But I mean, because obviously we know the Bruins can beat you in a variety of ways. But I have to say, just thoroughly impressed with the depth of the Toronto team. I think. I mean, I'm curious what you think here. I think they might have the deepest team in the whole league.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I think Marner is leading the team in points, but I mean, Matthews is up there close to 50. I think so is Tavares. Nylander as well. I think has around 50 points.
Right.
So they really do have such a very nicely spread out talent pool, where they can hit you from so many different angles on the ice. And like you saw last night, at really any moment they can go off. You have players with such speed, and such acceleration that could take a team like Florida, who maybe thought, hey man, 4-1 after the first period, like this is kind of in the bag. Toronto seems like they're in shambles. Florida had the shorthanded goal as well.
Yeah.
And Toronto was able to kind of turn it on like that. And I think that kind of translates well to their season, to be honest. I understand they're I think second in the East,
right,
behind Boston. Pretty significant point differential here, but that's just because Toronto, I mean, much like last night's game, just had the kind of a slow start to the season, and then they kind of turned it on, maybe a month and a half in, whereas Boston obviously was just firing from the get-go. So I mean, I understand there's a significant difference, between the first and second spot at the East, but like you were saying, I mean, I think Toronto can certainly hang with Boston. I don't know what their stats are against them. I think they lost to them recently, actually. Toronto to Boston.
Yeah, I was going to pull up their schedule.
But I think it was that's
4-3.
4-3. Yeah, I'd say
Boston.
Probably tight game. Probably the only time they played them. Well, it has to be the second time.
I'm gonna check that out.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, a loss by 1 goal against a team like Boston. I mean, and you mentioned, in TD Garden. I mean, that's not like, whoa, man, like we got fucking clobbered. And especially, like I said, for Toronto to come back like that, pulling Matt Murray, very uncharacteristic night, obviously. Be interesting to see. I'm sure, Matt Murray, he's a professional. He's been around the league for a while. He'll be fine.
They've had a pretty even split. Even Colgren, the third string tender, has gotten some starts. What do you expect them to do for the playoffs? Is it going to be Samsonov, or I mean, what do you think?
That's a good question. Honestly, I guess I have to do maybe a little bit more research on Samsonov, but if I were them, I would pick Matt Murray just for his experience with Pittsburgh, in the playoffs and everything. Again, Cauldron, I don't know. I feel like he hasn't really been getting a lot of playing time recently. Samsonov here, though, the young guy, 25 years old. He was with Washington.
But if you look at starts, I mean, they're pretty much even.
Yeah, they are pretty much even, huh? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Matt Murray, had like a big stint with Pittsburgh. He did well going into playoffs, backing up Marc-Andre Fleury for a little bit. I think there was definitely one year where Fleury was hurt, and it was Murray who got all the starts during the playoffs and everything. He did well, and he got good experience with Pittsburgh. I'm pretty sure it was the year they won the cup, actually. I think they beat San Jose in 2017, around there. But I mean, I think he got traded to Ottawa, or maybe it was free agency. I forget exactly. But Ottawa was okay numbers. I mean, it was the Senators, and it was, back then, they were really not a competitive team as well. So I think he kind of struggled there. And coming to Toronto, I mean, he looks like he's kind of revitalizing what he looked like in Pittsburgh. So again, I think, down the stretch of the season, I think Matt Murray is going to be your guy,
2015, 15-6 in the playoffs for the Penguins. But since then, 14 and 15. So
like overall since
in
then?
The playoffs, yeah. So that one great year, and then kind of has been around 500 since then. But it's interesting too. He didn't really at least win-loss. Last year in Ottawa didn't do that well, as Matthew says, Mr. Murray.
Mr. Murray.
But It is just, I don't know, just the way that they've played it this year. It almost makes you think that they're going to start both of them in a playoff series.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I think I don't know. It's always tough when you're not having a consistent goaltender in the playoffs. But I mean, I think Toronto. I mean, they have solid defense, obviously great offense. Samsonov and Murray are two, substantially good goaltenders too. So I mean, I think they'll be fine if they do decide to go, not necessarily with one dedicated starter. But I guess we'll kind of see. Samsonov, the young guy hasn't seen much action, in the playoffs with Washington, like a first rounder or two, I guess. But I guess we'll see.
And I did look it up. So they played earlier in the year in Toronto, and Toronto won 2-1. So
Bang.
2 games, they split them. Each home team won, and they're tied 5-5 in terms of goals. So 2 more matchups this season. The next one on February 1st. So that should be, a really, really good game. And, just speaks to the depth of the conference, like we talked yesterday. And I mean, for the Rangers, to make a run here, you almost have to hope that, at least one of them can get knocked out before you have to play them.
Yeah. Really.
But right now I'm thinking Rangers still slotted in that 6th position.
Yeah. They're tied up with Tampa Bay still, I believe.
Okay, so I just want to see, because sometimes, just see this for a second. So is it, how like there's the top 3 in each conference and then wild cards? So is it like, let's say a conference is a lot better than the other and the wild card has more points than like the 3rd place team? Would the wild card be ahead of them in the seeds, or no, they're still going to be, you know what I mean? Like, okay, so let's say the Atlantic, for instance.
Right.
This isn't true. Like the 3rd place team has more than the wild card, but let's just say the 3rd place team had less points than the wild card from the other division. Who would be ahead? Is it still definitely by points, or okay? So
by points.
Okay. So right now the Rangers at 6. So that's actually interesting. So 72-61. I'm just trying to figure out who they would be matched up against. I guess it would be actually the Devils, maybe?
The Devils right now. Yeah, 3 plays to 6, dude.
Wow. Would you almost be disappointed that they had to meet in the first?
No, dude.
Just to get some depth, get them advancing further along. I'm saying that one team has to go home in the first round.
Right. No, that is pretty tough. I will say, I mean, again, you think about the Rangers, their postseason last year. Obviously Carolina going to 7 games, Pittsburgh going to 7 here. Those first 2 series, I mean, they're not only obviously it's great hockey, but I mean, it's so taxing on the team, to get that longevity throughout the rest of the postseason. You saw teams like the Avalanche, sweeping series left and right. Not really having to worry or I guess work as much as some other teams. I mean, you obviously great matchup. It's going to be great if they play the Devils in the first round, but I mean that is a series that could go 7. So it makes you wonder. And again, against Pittsburgh, I think the first 3 games went into overtime. So it's like it's going to be a really long.
And I'm trying that thing. I don't know if it was it double or triple overtime. What was
the first game? I think was triple.
Okay, and then it was triple. Early in the 3rd.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh won.
Yeah.
Because I think we were watching that at your house. Renee's house.
The first game.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean those are definitely taxing for sure.
Right.
So I know because trade deadline is it next month? What's the deal with that?
It's a good question. It must be. I think it is February. Let's look it up.
I just want to know what the thought process is.
March 3rd.
March 3rd. Okay, so we got some time. Yeah. But and just kind of looking around the league. Seems like after some struggles that the Oilers have kind of righted the ship here. 5-2 over the Kraken. I think you were on the Kraken last night, right?
I was on the Kraken last night.
So I mean, I think they've really, the Oilers after, I think it was tough losing Kane early.
Yeah.
But I think they've gotten used to it. And we know how good Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are. Kane actually just came back. What do you know? Wasn't he supposed to be out way longer?
Yeah, I think so, dude. He did come back last night.
Wow. That was his first game?
Yeah, it must have been. Let's see.
Yeah, since November 8th. Yeah. So, because I guess they did say multiple months. So, boy, I what do you think his finger looks like? Because it was his finger, or was it his wrist?
It was his wrist. That's why I was so like, whoa, you know, like he needed attention.
Yeah. Oh my God. But I honestly think, you know, especially with him back, that they're going to be able to keep, you know, working their way up the ladder. And I think they have a big advantage just in terms of, you see who's at the top. Those teams, you know, especially last season, were not on the top of the standings. That it would be very, very easy to see them, you know, pulling an upset as a 6 seed, as a 7 seed. You know, let's say they had to play Winnipeg. Like, I don't know. Am I overvaluing them, or do you kind of, you know, believe that thought process too? Same thing with Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Again, having Kane had a good game last night. I think he played like almost 17 minutes. He had like 7 shots on goal here, 5 hits too. So he was playing physical, which is nice to see. You know, him not really being timid or anything.
38 goals.
Leading the league, I think, with 38 goals. I mean, again, you talk about explosive speed. I mean, when he turns it on, I mean, he made some defenders look foolish last night with his goal. But I don't know. I think a lot. I mean, look at Campbell, their goaltender, right? I mean, he's just not. I mean, his save percentage is under 9. I think it's like an 890, 880 something.
Terrible start. Last couple of games has looked better.
Solid, yeah. And even like last night, you know, holding the Kraken to 2 goals. That's great. That's a great look. I think, you know, like kind of what we saw from them in, you know, in the Western Conference Finals. You know, there were a few games were just shootouts. You know, the Edmonton Oilers, if they want to, you know, have a long postseason here this year, they're gonna have to be able to lean on their goaltender for big moments. And if Campbell could do that, that's great. But I don't know. I'm a little doubtful of him as of right now. So, like I said, you know, if the Oilers want to be a legitimate threat, I mean, you mentioned Winnipeg. I mean, Hellbuck is a great goaltender. You know, there's someone he can lean on to have, you know, a phenomenal game where he can hold the Oilers to a goal or two. You know, Edmonton needs that.
Yeah. And I just think it's, you know, I feel like the West, like we could call it the Wild Wild West this year in terms of, you know what I mean? Is anything really going to surprise you at this point? Like the 8 could be the 1, you know, right? I mean, I just don't think you could take anything off the table. And I just feel good about Edmonton going against anybody, honestly, for where they're going to be seated, unless obviously they go on a run and end up being third,
and
second.
It should be interesting to also see, like, you know, when it comes time for the playoffs for them, because they are obviously going to make the playoffs, like how Stuart Skinner can kind of work. You know, he's kind of their younger goaltender getting a lot of starts. I think. I mean, I don't know. He's got to have close to the majority of the starts, you know, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's probably split just because
like,
Campbell came into the year as a starter, you know, and then he's taken over.
You know, he's a young dude who's been pretty impressive for them. But again, you know, you need someone who's can handle the pressures, you know, of the postseason. And you know, I look to these younger goaltenders sometimes a little hesitant, especially in those big spots in the postseason, because it's. Like postseason hockey is kind of a different vibe. It's a different energy. And I mean, a younger, inexperienced goaltender, you know, can kind of buckle at the pressures of it because it's just you in between those pipes there in the net. So it could be kind of tough. But again, I think moving forward, Skinner could be, you know, obviously their starter. But again, we'll see how they do in the postseason.
Now, if you had to pick somebody, let's say you were putting a future on the winner of the Western Conference right now, who'd you take?
A winner of the West,
like not regular season, you know, making
like literally like winning the
they don't call it the pennant.
Going to the conference championship, Brian. I don't know. I mean, I want to say, you know, Dallas came to mind first just because of how they kind of bursted out on the scene. Actually, I think I will go with Dallas.
Interesting.
You know, Robinson obviously has been electric for them. Odinger is another good goaltender they can kind of lean on. You know, they also have who's their guy? Tyler Seguin. He's been in the league forever. Veteran player. I think he's been with Dallas for a while now. I think they still have Thornton too on Dallas.
Joe
Thornton.
Really?
Yeah.
Former Bruin Shark.
Yeah.
Wow. He's got to be 40, no?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna actually just look that up.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure, dude. Oh no, Joe Pavelski they have.
Yeah, Pavelski.
Yeah.
Unrestricted free agent, 43 years old, Joe Thornton.
Interesting.
I want to say, was he on Florida last year?
I'm trying to remember.
I hate when you like go on a site and then they hide the. Okay, so he was on Florida last year.
He was on Florida last year.
Yeah.
Okay. I must be thinking of Pavelski. Jamie Benn too. He's been on Dallas forever. He's 33. And I think that for a lot of these guys, like Pavelski, like Sagan, like Ben, they're kind of in the latter half of their career. So I mean, I think they're not only do they have the talent, but they have the mindset to be looking for that deep run to go to the Cup. So if I had to pick one right now, I guess I would say Dallas, because I think the other teams. I mean, you think about, Edmonton obviously has some holes we were talking about. Even, Winnipeg is a team that's, I don't think anyone was really looking at to be leading the West, but I think they're second or third. Seattle's up there. LA is up there too. Teams, that people not necessarily written off, but just weren't really expecting to be this good at this point in the season. I don't know. It just seems like that Dallas is the really standout team for me that can kind of push through the playoffs.
And any thought about Colorado getting back in the mix? I think they've kind of turned it around a little bit last couple games.
Yeah. So tough. I mean, yeah, they have, part of me really wants to pull for them, especially because Georgiev, and obviously you have a lot of respect for what Kel McCarr and really the rest of the Avs have been doing. But I don't know, dude. Like, I just don't. It just doesn't seem they have the same like step on with their skates. I don't know what it is about them, but they're just not nearly as good as last season. We mentioned some of the players they lost, like Kadri being the biggest one, obviously, but I don't know. I mean, will they be able to make it in the playoffs? Looking at the standings now,
Are they out right now?
Yeah, they're in 10th, I believe.
Wow.
A point behind Nashville, and believe it or not, you got Calgary. It looks like they're in the 8th spot. Yeah, Calgary's in the 8th spot with Edmonton right ahead of them. So I mean, I don't know. It's possible. Again, it'd be interesting to see if they try and make any acquisitions at the trade deadline, just to bolster some offense. But I mean,
Patty Kane.
Yeah, maybe. It's interesting. I mean, there's a lot of talk of obviously where Kane's going to. The Rangers, being one of the teams.
But he's having another lackluster year, isn't he?
Personally, for me, I wouldn't want him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I feel like Colorado may be a team that's a little bit more desperate, I guess, to find an answer to such a lackluster year following up the Cup. Could take a chance on him for sure. I mean, Patrick Kane, I know maybe it's been a few years, but he was like one of the best players in the league for a long-standing time. So I mean, you could still, like, even if the Rangers were to pick him up, depending on what is in the trade package, I wouldn't be totally upset picking him up, because he's got to have something left in him. And I'm sure a change of scenery for him is going to really, create some uptick in his level of play. But I'm actually hearing for the Rangers, Timo Meier from San Jose.
I just saw something on that last night.
Being like a pretty big front runner for making a push for the trade deadline. He's a guy who, we talked about a little bit this season for San Jose. Obviously, San Jose is not a great team in terms of winning and where they're at in the standings. But they do have a lot of talented players. Timo Meier was a guy from last season who won a lot of games for San. I think he had the 5-goal game.
Yes.
Last year too. I haven't dove deep into his stats. And he's not really that old either, I believe. He's 26. The Swiss player, hockey reference, let's see, over 45 games played this season. He's got 25 goals, 20 assists. So again, that's something that's pretty solid. Obviously very solid. And I actually didn't realize he was a 9th overall pick back in 2015 for San Jose, obviously. It's pretty interesting. I mean, San Jose is a team who's like noted for having career players. And Timo Meier, who's been with them for the past 8 years or so, 7-8 seasons. I mean, to see him in a Rangers uniform, I would certainly appreciate that, honestly, more than Kane at this point, just because Timo Meier is obviously youthful, and you look at his past few seasons, obviously last season seemingly to be one of his more breakout seasons here. 77 games played, 35 goals, 41 assists. That's great. And then before that, you had, I guess, the COVID season where there's not as many games played, only 12 goals, 19 assists. Before that, in 2019, 22 goals, 27 assists, and then before that, you had another 30-goal season. Seemingly that seems to be where his wheelhouse was at the time. Obviously, COVID seemed to kind of disrupt that season a little bit, but then comes back onto the scene, and it's just bang, 35 goals. And this season, it looks like he's on track for exactly that. And I mean, those are numbers that the Rangers could use certainly to their benefit. And I was looking at seeing what some people would say. I mean, obviously, Timo Meier's a young, good player, so you're gonna have to give up some prospects, Lafreniere, maybe a defenseman.
And the cap hit probably isn't too much. Like, I don't think he's gotten like a big deal at this point.
His contract. Where the hell is it?
4-year, $24 million contract, so $6 per year.
It's not terrible.
No, so we got to match up with
Yeah.
somebody. That's the thing. And Rangers contracts. Capfriendly.com. Are you familiar with that one?
Dude. Honestly, I am not, dude, but I'm right there with you. Let's see, dude. So you say 6 million, huh?
Yeah, I mean, no one really matches perfectly. Honestly.
No one. It's gonna have to be a few people, huh?
Barkley, you don't want to trade Gaudreau. You know what I mean? You don't want to trade Trocheck. So, because I don't think they can take any more on without trading it out, right?
Yeah, I don't think so either. They're at the
Jacob
cap.
Trouba. Lindgren, right? Like, do you really want to get rid of him?
No, I don't.
You don't want to get rid of Gaudreau, right?
Yeah. Jacob Trouba, dude.
Jacob Trouba, that salary is bloated.
$8 million a year.
What? I mean, do you think he's overrated?
I mean, I guess so. I mean, you think of how he's played this season, obviously underwhelming. But again, last season he was a player you could rely on to bring some energy and physicality to the Rangers team as a whole. And I'm not to say that he doesn't do that now. I mean, the Rangers have been, they keep talking about it. The Rangers have been an entirely different team since that game against Chicago where they lost and Trouba threw his helmet off the ice, leaving the game, yelling at the bench. I mean, you got to appreciate some of his development as the captain here. Is he getting paid too much? I would say he's getting paid too much. But I don't know, man. I mean, at this point, to trade away your captain, which we've seen the Rangers do before, I don't know, dude. It's iffy.
Trade him away, make Kreider the captain. He really I don't understand why he's not the captain.
Yeah, I know. I don't know, dude. It's so I hate. I don't know. I thought it was so weird for the Rangers to trade their captain when they traded Callahan away. It was so weird, like
Stanley Cup. So you're thinking there's some parallel there.
Yeah. I mean, hey man, it's possible. I mean, if San Jose wants him and they have to give up Trouba,
But Like I feel like they're gonna have to give a few picks, like because Trouba can't
Yeah,
can't be that attractive.
Trouba
at
for
8 million.
Meyer, yeah, straight up. You would still have maybe like a Trouba Lafreniere, but then at that point, you're kind of paying a little bit more than Timo Meyer's value.
Yeah. Trades are tough.
Trades are
Salary
really
caps
tough,
are
dude.
tough.
Salary caps are so annoying, dude.
Yeah, they are.
The
They are.
books, dude.
So that'll be a situation to monitor. And last night in the picks, a little trouble for you, huh?
Oh, a lot of trouble for me, man.
1-3.
1-3, dude.
I go 2-2. So I think it's 11-8. And we do have 5 games tonight, so we can do 2 in a common. And I was just gonna mention too, you talk about the Jets and not the Jets, but the the Jets.
Lost to the Canadiens.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I think they're gonna taper off. I think they're gonna finish like middle of the pack. Honestly, I don't think they're not the number 1 seed in the West. Do you really see them that way?
As number 1, I mean they're below. They're probably number 2, right? I would say now.
But I mean, are they a top 2 team in the West? I don't know. I just think that's just a little
top 2 in the West. I mean, you've seen Vegas taper off. Unfortunately, I do think Vegas is better than them, than Winnipeg. But I think Winnipeg losing to Montreal is like a one-off thing. I mean, you've seen how Doc played.
We know about losing to Montreal.
We know about losing to Montreal, yeah. So it's they're also a team that has obviously talent, but Doc I think had 2 assists last night against Winnipeg, and he's someone who was really pestering the Rangers when he was playing them. So I think maybe just the uptick from him, players trying to adjust. But of course, Winnipeg 1 goal. I mean, they had a tougher game, I think, but they'll be fine.
But that being said, let's get started here. So first game, of 2 dude. Before the common. What do we got? Right in front of you, right there for the taking.
What, the Bruins?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know about that.
RBS right in our backyard.
I know.
Or
dude,
UBS.
I guess the Islanders. I want to say I'm gonna take the Stars tonight. We were just talking about them and how good they are.
Carlson. You could have a big game against them at home.
So,
the crowd.
So. I was kind of surprised. Dallas here.
TNT.
Minus 165 only. At away on the road here in San Jose. I think the Sharks, honestly, I mean, come on, like Dallas is 26-12-7. San Jose's 13-23-9.
How about 7 overtime losses at home
for Dallas?
For San Jose. That's tough. That's why you're 13-23.
Yeah. So I mean, it seems they can't really I guess rally at home, even in overtime. And I think this game is going to make it to overtime. Again, I mean, Sharks goaltending. I mean, Kakinen, Reimer. I mean, all above 3 goals against, all under 900 save percentage. Dallas is someone who can bombard you with shots from anywhere on the ice, really. Obviously, this is not the first time these 2 teams met. Last game, the Stars won 5-2. I would imagine it's going to look something like that. I'll say 5-3. Empty netter towards the end there for Dallas. Give San Jose maybe a fighting chance, but give me Dallas. 5-3. Let's do it.
Wow. Well, yeah, I guess I'll just go with Boston. Gotta get some victories here. Islanders. I don't think the Islanders are bad, but I've just yet to be shown that a team can really compete with Boston, no matter what.
Ooh.
No matter what the situation is.
So you're picking Boston.
We're gonna go Boston.
Are you rooting for the Bruins, Brian?
Well, I mean, just for this pick, yeah.
So yes.
But it's not like you with the Bruins. But Pastrnak, I think he's due for a new contract. I think they were talking about that on.
Oh yeah,
because I was watching like the pregame show for Toronto.
Oh,
yesterday,
nice.
And I don't know why that came up. Maybe there's some highlights or something. But Pastrnak, I mean, 35 goals, 27 assists, great year.
It's amazing what you learn from watching other hockey games, dude.
Yeah,
it really is. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna say 3-1. Islanders might be able to sneak into the playoffs, but they cannot compete with the Boston Bruins. And this one, 7:30 on TNT.
Wow, dude. TNT getting a lot of love tonight, huh, dude?
Yeah.
So my next pick here, it's interesting. I mean, I'm looking at Lightning Canucks here. Lightning on the road in Vancouver. Tampa Bay owns minus 178. Another matchup where seemingly it looks, when you look at these two teams, it seems pretty one-sided, but the line is pretty close, just like in Dallas and San Jose's game. But give me the Lightning here. I don't know. I don't know how you can't pick the Lightning here. The fact that this line is a little close kind of worries me a little bit. Maybe just because they're on the road and Vancouver has had some great games. We mentioned Bo Horvat yesterday.
They were talking about that on
Toronto's pregame too. Yeah, that's so funny, dude. If he gets moved, that'd be pretty crazy. But Elias Peterson pretty solid for Vancouver. But the Lightning, Kucherov is up there with leading the league leaders in points. Stamkos, again, another year for Stamkos where doesn't really seem like he's aging. And he still has a phenomenal one-timer. He's a team yesterday I was talking about in the power play that it's just their bread and butter to get Stamkos open in the slot for the one-timer. And it hits probably like 80% of the time. It's so amazing. And then you have, Braden Point as well in the team, not to mention, how good their physicality is with Victor Hedman. Their defense, solid goaltending we know about. Give me the Lightning here. I could see the Canucks give them maybe a little bit trouble, but give me the Lightning here 4-3. I would say Vasilevsky in the end there as Vancouver has an empty netter, holds them off.
There you go. I know I definitely like that one. And I'm gonna go with the Penguins, your favorite team, against the Senators. I just think with the Senators, the last couple of seasons, I know they're hovering this year around 500, but I think the Penguins are just a lot better, and they're looking to work their way up the ladder here in the Eastern Conference. So I think a nice, clean 3-1 victory. Too is why am I blanking?
Crosby, Malkin.
No. Jarry, is he still out?
Tristan Jarry?
Yeah, I know he was out for a minute.
I don't think so, dude.
Okay, because DeSmith was filling in. I just wanted to see though. Let's just take a look here.
It says DeSmith up there unconfirmed.
So that would mean that Jarry, I would think, injured reserve.
Jarry, I don't see him on the IR report.
Let's see
injuries. But then again, it's really early for Daily.
Yep, he's been January 17th. Yeah, injured reserve. He skated though with his teammates yesterday.
No shit.
Yeah. But we've seen DeSmith, step in 22-15. But
he's fine.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna have any trouble in this one.
Maybe that's why. Because again, another line when you look at these two teams, expect the Penguins to be heavily favored, and it's only minus 125 for Pittsburgh.
Tender.
So,
Not to mention Chris Letang is on IR as well. So that's two big blows. But they still have a lot of talent on that team. So I think they could take care of business here. And then that leaves us Colorado, Calgary. Final game, common.
Interesting, dude. I pick?
Yeah. I know you're pick.
Who do you think I'm going to pick?
Calgary.
Wrong.
You were going to pick
Calgary. No, I'm going to pick Colorado. Come on, dude. Calgary, you've been so hard on all season. Come on, dude.
Kadri.
I don't care, dude.
Kadri tribute?
Yeah, the tribute video. Is Tortorella going to come out?
I really can't believe they didn't honor him, though.
Tortorella?
Yeah.
Have you been hearing about his the whole iPad situation over there?
No.
He was getting so tight at the Flyers that he took away all their iPads on the bench.
Maybe the problem is, they're not a good team. How about that, John?
Yeah. Oh God, dude. I wish you could hear you say that, dude. His post game. How about you don't have a good team there, John? Oh my God, dude. But yeah, give me the Avalanche. We were talking about them. I understand I was skeptical of them, having a good rest of the season, but against Calgary, they're close in the standings right now.
Lindholm, Tony. Lindholm.
Elias?
Yeah.
What about him?
40 points.
Oh.
Rantanen has 53 though.
Rantanen 53, 29 goals, 24 assists. Dude, come on. Yo, Kadri only 17 goals, dude. 18 assists. I guess that's solid. Like, that's nothing like, oh wow, like he's terrible. But again, like you think about his stats and what it looked like, for Colorado last year. I feel like at this point, halfway through the season, maybe the goals were maybe around the same at this point last season. Because he had a good second half of the season, but I mean, he had 59 assists last year. So I, 18 only this year. He's not getting into a lot of plays, it seems, and I think Colorado, maybe misses him, but hey man, just give me Colorado tonight. I really can't see Calgary having a dog in this fight, dude. If Colorado, plays anywhere near like they should be doing. I understand they have a few injuries themselves. Gabriel Landeskog being probably one of their bigger ones on the IR. But I think they'll be fine. I think Kemba Carr is going to lay some wood tonight, get into some plays as that nice, aggressive defenseman. Again, McKinnon on the ice too for them. And Georgiev in between the pipes. I'm sure nothing's been confirmed yet in terms of
Francois.
Francois, who we've seen have good games against a Jacob Markstrom, who I don't know, man. 13-11-5, no shutouts in the season. Francois does have 2.8 goals against, 894 save percentage. Francois obviously not as many games, but does have some better numbers with 1 shutout, 2.61 goals against, 917 save percentage. 6-6 in the season. I mentioned looking to break that 500 mark there, bud. So give me Colorado here. I would say maybe tight. I don't know. 5-2, maybe. No.
And let me tell you, Tony, both of these teams are due for an uptick here.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. But
and I'm fine with the Flames. So I'll take the opposite side here.
I mean, they're so talented, obviously.
And one guy specifically, and we mentioned this, but a while ago, Huberdeau. Last year 30 goals, 85 assists. This year through 42 games, 8 goals, 23 assists. So. I think he's due to play a lot better. 31 points versus 115 last season, which is just ridiculous. And then not to mention too, Colorado's had some injuries. I think they're healthy now, but Makar was out for a stretch. So I think you think about all that stuff. I think they're going to end up really turning it around and being a tough team. And I honestly, despite whatever, they're going to end up being an 8 seed. I'll take them over anybody in the Western Conference.
Really?
I think they're going to go on a run here. I mean, where do you think they finish?
In the conference, again, I think it's pretty tight in the lower part. I think they're like 3 or 4 points out though of like being somewhat contending. I could see them if they go on this run, and then if they go on the run, I can see them hitting like the 6th spot. But if you see teams like Winnipeg, maybe Vegas or LA sort of taper off, they can hit 5, I think. They can jump quite a few spots,
They're going to be a tough out, too.
Yeah. No, that's for sure.
So I think that'll only play to their advantage. So a little bit of a lighter slate, but, got some national games on here, which is nice.
Quality games.
Quality players.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. One thing, that we haven't talked about in a while is golf, Tony. So I'm catching you off guard here. You weren't ready to make a selection.
Certainly not,
but
dude.
We are returning to La Quinta, California, for the American Express tournament. So, this one after last week in Kapalua, we didn't have as many big games. As many big names in the field. This one, though, is absolutely loaded in a very different format. So I mentioned, it is La Quinta, California, but, usually you have your cut, everything's a 4-round tournament. And they always do the top 60 and ties, halfway through. This one actually goes 3 rounds and then a cut. And this is all because they go on 3 different courses. And I'm just kind of curious, sometimes we'll do 2. What is it? The Farmers Insurance at Torrey Pines. They have the South and the North course. But what's your thoughts about that? A golf tournament on 3 different courses in 4 different days.
I like it. Sounds like a lot of action. Sounds like it I guess makes for some pretty tough golf. And at that point, it could be, the playing field maybe a little bit more even between some players. So, maybe we see some guys who maybe aren't as highly touted who kind of come up on top, right?
Yeah. So in the 3 courses here, we got the Pete Dye Stadium course. That'll actually host the final round as well as one of the first 3 for each golfer. And then, we have the La Quinta Country Club, as well as the Nicholas Tournament course. So the 3 of those courses. So there's a lot, like I said, a lot of big names. And just to give you an idea, we got Rahm, we got Scheffler, we got Cantlay, Tony Finau, Will Zalatoris, Tom Kim, Cameron Young, Sungjae Im, and Sahith Theegala. Not to mention Xander Schauffele coming back from that injury that he suffered at the Tournament of Champions. So a lot of talent here. Always tough to decipher. So it just kind of interesting. Like, how do you really pinpoint somebody in terms of a winner? You got Siwoo Kim, who won last week at the Sony Open in Hawaii, so playing this tournament as well. Tom Hoagie, Sam Burns, Brian Harmon. So deep. And I'm still, I think this is going to be an on the fly decision here for me, but I got to start with you, Tony.
What was the injury that Xander?
I think it was a back.
Oof.
Yeah.
It's tough, dude, because John Rahm has been on fire. I feel. I don't know. I guess give me Sahith Theegala. I feel like he was rookie last year, right?
Yes.
I feel like this season so far, a few top 6 finishes, right? Around
three top 6 finishes.
3 top 6 finishes. I feel like he's been teetering, due to kind of maybe, extend his reach beyond top 6 here. So give me Sahith, man.
I'm gonna mark these down. I feel like sometimes we don't, and then we forget,
and then like 3 days from now, you're like, who did I pick, Tony?
The winner. So I don't mean to make this too chalky, too easy, but gotta go with Rahm. I think Rahm is a lock for a major this year, possibly the Masters, which would be big for him. But I just think he's playing better golf than anybody right now. Scotty Scheffler, of course, had that great year last year. The run of I think it was like 4 wins and 6 starts, whatever it is. He's kind of cooled off a little bit. Not to say that he's playing terrible, but in terms of winning, I just think, when you're coming down that 18th fairway and you're looking over your shoulder, you don't want to see Jon Rahm because I think he's going to, take the cake, take the prize. And I think this should be a really fun tournament. And I'm excited to watch it over the weekend.
Me too, dude. Maybe I'll take a look, dude. Honestly, I'll be home, so I'll be. Yeah. My dad would probably love to watch it, dude.
Yeah, and you're ready for golf this season. I feel like too. Playing golf.
Honestly, yeah. I really. I know we keep saying it, but dude, honestly, it's so funny because with the way we talk about it, dude, we can just do like different sport every day, dude.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what else we got to figure out? I was just thinking
basketball.
Well, that of the things to figure out, we got a full laundry list over here, Tony.
We really do, dude.
But I just got the new Madden last night. Had a gift card, so just download that to the system. So
nice.
We're overdue for Gaming Corner.
Oh, dude, we gotta play fucking Chell.
Yeah. I've only played it a couple of times, but it'll be good to play it here because I'm frustrated, but I think you can kind of help me along. Just in terms of the feel. I don't know what it is. It's so tough.
And one thing I've noticed too throughout the past few years, I want to say since probably like 2017, it's like it's gotten the mechanics have made the game harder to play for sure. Right. You have to be a little more accurate, like where you're passing and shit like that. It's a hard game to I think adapt to, but I mean, dude, you'll pick it up fine, and it is so much fun playing with a group of guys.
Are we gonna say definitively next week Gaming Corner?
I'm gonna make sure it happens, honestly, because I totally forgot you had the new Chell, and I'm kind of tight that we haven't played it yet.
Are we gonna do another 3-hour bonanza?
Dude, we can go for 5, dude. Honestly,
that really was a classic.
I know.
Finish it off with the golf.
Well, now we may have to finish it off with the Derby.
The Derby, right, exactly. Michael's still a little sour on the Madden game, or?
Oh, I bet, dude. Yeah.
But I'll say, the new Madden.
Yeah.
Different year.
I'm sure, dude. Be like, I'm just waiting for 2K.
Yeah, which we have the new 2K as well. So we really have a full slate of Gaming Corner coming up. So I can't wait for that.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, we'll talk to Maddie next week and shit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think maybe, early on next week. Why not?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Monday, Tuesday, why not?
I'm down for Monday night if you want to do Monday night.
I'm in.
All right, word.
I said word.
I said word. Oh, dude, I think you lost that one, dude.
I want to see pen and paper on this, Tony, just so you don't forget.
Pen and paper.
Mark it down in that handy notebook of yours.
Wow, dude.
Monday,
my handy
Gaming
notebook,
Corner,
dude.
something about Beverly's. Oh my God.
dude, I haven't had pizza in a while.
Really?
I'm trying to think of the last time we had pizza. Damn. I can't even tell you when.
It's funny. Somebody actually on the trip in Jamaica, they I guess grew up in Bridgeport, I think, or went to school in Bridgeport. And I mentioned Beverly's, and they were just like, hands down, the best.
Wow,
So good.
really, dude?
Yeah.
Small
And
world.
they
That's
said,
so funny.
They said I don't usually like the Greek style pizza, but
Mhm.
for some reason, that pizza just so good.
Hey, man. Mike will tell you too, like family restaurant, been there a while, dude. They obviously have mastered their craft.
Yeah. Yeah, that is what it is. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And the cheese is your favorite from there, or
No, the bacon.
oh, the
The bacon
Okay.
pie is so good.
Did we get a bacon and a cheese last time?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, unbelievable. So
I don't know if Mike's told you too. He went to Sally's in Fairfield.
what happened? It was good.
Yeah, he said it's
Are the
awesome.
kiosks gone? I heard something about the Stanford one that they're taking orders now.
I know in Fairfield they're taking orders.
So no kiosk.
No kiosk.
Sit down, get to know your waitress,
Mhm.
that type of thing.
Yeah.
Wow. Good. Do you know what just cheese or
I think so, yeah.
nice?
Cheese in a salad, I think maybe.
I'm actually pumped to try that. Maybe salads will be back because I was a little dissuaded. Almost. Now I'm almost thinking I want to get salads. Just because I only had it twice in Stanford last year. What people were disappointed. Service
I've only ever had it once in my life.
from New Haven.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Went there. It was definitely we went there and it was definitely a wait.
Right.
And it was interesting because we were in the outdoor area
Uh-huh.
under the tent. You had to go up and get your own drinks, order the pizza when you get up there. Like
I'm just talking about a grab and go.
well, yeah, I'm just telling you my experience here in New Haven.
No, I'm just telling you about the
sharing.
experience I want.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. I would have to go back to the New Haven one though. I mean, they have like an indoor area, obviously. Like,
Yeah.
I want to go inside.
Yeah.
The
like, nostalgic, the pictures.
Yeah, it was fucking slammed when we were there too.
Yeah.
It was like mobbed, bro.
Yeah. That's the thing though. When it's like that though, I'm out. You know what I mean? It's like I don't even want to get because I just feel like there's so many places where you could get good pizza and it's not a 5-hour ordeal.
Yeah, I know, dude.
Is there one place like that in Staten Island where it's weekend, Saturday night?
Mobbed?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There's a place called Lee's Tavern, which Portnoy has been to actually. And it's like right next to the train station. So literally like people just go like take the train right there. You pop right off. It's like an neighborhood spot, pictures of cheap beers, bar, full obviously menu with Galmad. And it's like it's like thin crusted too.
Oh, nice.
So
nice.
like you go there on the weekend and it's not a big place, so it fills out too.
Nice.
And it's like the locals, you like this, the men's softball team, the pictures on the wall, sponsored by Lee's Tavern and pictures. And there's like a couple arcade games in the back, dude. So you go there on a weekend, it's absolutely slow, but it's delicious, dude.
Great. Love
So
to hear
good.
it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Couple
Absolutely
TVs,
love
the
it.
bar, Brian.
Couple TVs at the bar. You can't beat it.
Speaking, I haven't been to Colony in a while either.
Yeah. Neither have I. So a lot of stuff to do.
Dude, there is so much stuff to do.
Including you, right? After this, donut in.
After this, donut in.
Maybe a couple donuts, or that's pushing it.
Did I have one yesterday? I had one yesterday. Was it yesterday? I don't remember. But I have had a couple donuts in the past couple of days. So I mean,
take it easy, bud.
Take it a little easy. Dude, they're so good from Donut Inn too. The chocolate glaze.
And
then again, back to there's nothing like a pastry with like coffee on it.
Yeah.
It just goes.
You keep going.
It just you take a bite of donut, a sip of the coffee, and it goes together so well, Brian.
It really does.
Ridiculous, dude.
It really does. One other thing, just on the way out here that I wanted to mention, and we haven't really got to talk baseball. Obviously, the stove is cooled off here. But Chapman, I guess, is getting interest from a couple teams.
Yeah,
Marlins are constantly linked, I think, because he's lives down in that area. But last week, the Yankees signed number 9 ranked international prospect Brandon Mayaya from Cuba, 17 years old, $4.4 million deal. Apparently, he can fly. So you just love to hear that. It's just nice to, add him to the mix. You think about their international prospects with Dominguez and last year's signee, Roderick Arias. So, it's nice. He's a center fielder, and he can play short as well. And they think he has power. So 17 years old. I just feel like, Tony, we've seen it a lot with these baseball teams where you get those young international players. It just seems to work if you really dominate that area. I mean, think about what the Braves have done.
Yeah, no, I think you're totally right. But Chapman,
I think will have a resurgent year because he's going to be out of the Bronx.
Yeah,
he goes to Miami, he'll have 45 saves.
You think so?
A 2 ERA. No one's at the game.
I know, it's so crazy, dude. If that happens,
don't you kind of think he's definitely going to do a lot better there?
I mean, again, like we've talked about him obviously in some depth here with the Yankees. It seems like that a lot of his issues comes from mental,
right?
So I mean, I imagine change of scenery would have a positive effect. How much? I don't know, dude.
I'm excited to see the battles against the Mets.
Yeah,
Chapman closing it out, and not as many matchups this year though. I think it's down to 13? Is the amount of games?
I would say 14.
I think
maybe it's 13.
Yeah,
I think
it seems like it's 2 series, 6 games.
Six games. Yeah, you're right.
Are you still kind of a little bothered by that?
Yeah, dude. What is that?
Have you kind of researched the Mets schedule, or you haven't?
No, I haven't really dove deep yet.
You don't even know where they're opening, who they're playing.
No, couldn't tell you.
I thought you're pumped,
dude. I'm on hockey season. Hockey season.
Pitchers and catchers next month.
Next month, I know. Then I'll research it. Pitchers and catchers will do research.
I mean, Yankees, Giants. Michael Conforto returning to New York opening day. You're telling me you're not going to watch that? You think he gets nice hands?
From who?
No, I'm just saying because, he was played in New York his whole career at the stadium.
A couple open regular season Thursday, March 30th.
At Miami?
At Miami.
No, but it's opening day, actually, so they'll have 25,000 there.
Yeah. Home opener will be April 6th against the Marlins.
There you go.
Bang.
But
that's a lot of Marlins, dude.
I'm just excited, honestly, because I think New York sports needs to get in the right spot. So I can't wait for the Giants to lose, Rangers to go on the run, and then while they're going on the run, Yankees, Mets dominating the league.
Why are the Giants losing?
I'm so sick of it.
Why are you so sick of the Giants, dude?
Because I don't like how it seems like the whole thought process to me just makes no sense. Me being a Jets fan, why is it that all of a sudden I'm going to cross over to a different team just because they play in the same stadium? Even though I have no desire for them, I'm not route for them, but just because now they're in the playoffs, and since my team failed to get it done, that I'm gonna just go hop over to their team. It just
who says you have to?
Doesn't make sense, but you feel like, it's New York, it's New York. Like,
who says that?
People say it. You listen on the radio. There's a lot of that going on.
People on the radio are stupid.
So you agree with me then? There's no reason for me to be excited.
I'm not saying you have to be excited, but I'm also saying you don't have to be like, oh, I hope they lose.
But to me, like I said, I'm looking at it from a national perspective, and also, when my team isn't out, especially NFL, I just want to see the best guys out there.
Not the Giants.
No, the Giants are one of the worst teams left,
or
probably the worst team left. I think any other team will beat them if they played.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
Guess we will find out. But yeah, I just think it's, and then people are talking Super Bowl, and it's out of hand, Tony. It really is. I'm sorry. It is out of hand.
Okay.
You don't think the Super Bowl talk's a little out of hand?
For the Giants?
Yeah.
I think it's hopeful.
I don't
Wishful
know.
thinking for sure.
You know what bothers me? Actually, no, it doesn't. Never mind. Because you're technically a Giants fan, even though not really. But I was going to say that you're more excited to see like Daniel Jones in the Super Bowl than Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, if Daniel Jones goes to the Super Bowl, I mean, yes, I know I mentioned I'm sick of Patty Mahomes already.
Bring his family into it.
But it's also like everything he does, dude. It's like pretty crazy. It's actually funny. I did see this video on Twitter yesterday where like it was the game against the Vikings and Daniel Jones like faked his throw, right? And then with his left hand, put the ball behind his back and handed the ball off for a running play. And it literally said like, if Patrick Mahomes did this, the internet would break. And I mean, it's not wrong. Like people were like, whoa, Patty Mahomes, dude. What?
Track record.
Yeah, exactly. Daniel Jones is supposed to.
Daniel Jones hasn't earned anything yet. He's done nothing. He's won one playoff game against the Vikings.
Yeah, I understand that.
Against a
I understand
Swiss cheese
But
defense.
he's a player who was thought to be like, oh, he should be off the fucking team. He's a terrible quarterback, and nobody wanted to take a chance on him. Giants double down, triple down, really, on him. And, that was a really cool play, and you didn't fucking hear about it.
Best of luck to him. But I kind of think this is like a hockey comparison. This is an Erik Karlsson 30-goal season. Once and done. Next year, after they give him the big contract, the return to mediocrity.
No. I don't think so, dude.
I'm just saying, Tony. I'm just saying. I just think that all I'm saying is I think they're getting too much credit for winning a game that they should have won. They were the better team going into the game.
Yeah.
I have to say I'm a little disappointed that you're not more excited for the baseball season.
I didn't say I'm not excited.
Yeah, but you're like, the Rangers and like,
because it's hockey season.
Is it Correa still bothering you?
I mean, I guess I'm a little tight. Have you heard like what like Boris has been saying about Cohen? He's been calling Cohen out. So it's like, I mean, I don't know. Do you really think that this whole Correa thing was kind of just like a ploy to sell more tickets? You think?
Sell more tickets for the Mets?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like so that people bought the tickets?
People bought
the
tickets.
Doesn't go.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It was just like a smoke and mirror thing, just to be like, oh.
So now you're tight on Cohen. Interesting.
Well, it's just interesting that Scott Boras. I mean, he has a point where he's like, he said that like, oh, like, the Mets knew this.
Yeah.
Like the Mets knew what the Giants went through. Like, and I mean, you have to assume that Boras is right. You would imagine the Mets knew about Correa's situation before they really pursued him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what the hell? Like, what's the deal, man? Like, why? Somebody is lying and somebody is deceiving the other party here.
I think, we talk about Daniel Jones being overrated. Maybe Steve Cohen's overrated.
Nah, that's a little ridiculous.
I mean, what has he done since they've got there? They lost in the wild card series. We could pull up the minced meat video, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
You were doubting me at the time.
Yeah.
Just saying, I mean, nothing's happened. He's swung and missed a couple times. I mean, What's the big acquisition that we give him credit for?
Well, what do you mean? I mean, like, obviously.
He signed Justin Verlander.
Yeah, he signed Verlander. I mean, you get Max Scherzer.
All he's done is sign old players, though. He hasn't signed anybody that's
you got Lindor's big contract.
Is that really a good contract?
I mean, I think it is, yeah.
I think, though, to be fair, and I think you kind of would agree with this second thought, I think this year is big in terms of that contract, because if it's a weak year this year, then that contract doesn't look so good, because he still hasn't had a huge year since they got him.
Yeah, he really hasn't. But obviously, last season, a big uptick. I mean, Jesus Christ, what do you have? Like 100-something RBIs, 107 RBIs, something like that.
Fence is in. Dude.
Fence is in, dude. I think you're going to see more dingers out of him. And again, I mean, his defense honestly has been pretty superb as well. So, I mean, he's locking down his position at short here. And the offense is up, dude. I mean, last season was a big improvement for him. And just like, you give him, a little bit of an adjustment period, just like Cohen. He has an adjustment period. I mean, the man's never owned a baseball team before. He's never really done anything like this before. It's only his third year. He promised a championship in 5. They're on that track, I think.
I think he should have signed one of the big free agents. And why did he wait to the last second with Correa? Why didn't they go after Turner?
I don't know why. Yeah, the short of Turner.
It really, I mean, I would have hated it, but really, if he was doing what's in the best interest of the team, he would have tried to sign Judge, but he didn't even try to do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. How do you feel about that whole
side deal?
Yeah,
I mean, it kind of bit him in the ass. No, DeGrom doesn't even come back.
Yeah, I know, dude. So I mean, I don't know.
But I don't know if I don't think the Yankees wanted DeGrom, honestly, just because of the injuries and the age. Doesn't seem like a Yankee signing.
You don't think so?
No.
I think he can. I mean, obviously in New York, the man can succeed. So I think he would have been fine in the Yankees rotation.
Yeah, it was funny though. My this group chat I have with fellow Yankee fans. One of my friends, it was just ridiculous, just saying about how he wanted DeGrom and at least he's proven himself or something. And I'm just like,
as opposed to who? Cole?
I think he kind of was called out Cole.
Really?
And I'm just like, hey, have you watched the last couple of years? Like, he's just been a complete diva. He's throwing like 70 innings. Like, I mean, what are we talking about here?
I don't know about diva. I mean, the man's been injured. He's been injured, Brian.
He's mentally weak. I mean, come on, Tony. He's no longer your property.
I don't think he's mentally weak, dude.
You don't think he's tentative?
Tentative? Like,
yeah, with his arm and, just, MRI tube. Just saying, BT, Tiki and Tierney, big call-outs last year. Big.
I mean, it is a little odd that they kept doing MRIs, not really finding much, and it was just kind of, I mean, obviously something must have been wrong.
Or he just really just wanted to take it very
There's
easy
no way, dude.
I don't know.
Because that hurts him. He's not playing innings. How does that bode well for him if he's not pitching innings?
Looks like, what was it, 154? Was it?
Yeah.
Seemed like it boded pretty well. No?
I guess, dude. He's on the fucking Rangers, dude.
The Rangers are going to be good.
No, they're not.
In our season preview, we'll
said that last year, I think, too.
But look who they've added this year.
Okay.
Same. And I think Simeon bounces back.
No.
Tough year last year.
No, I don't think so, dude. You were so hard on Simeon, I thought. Like, last season, you didn't want him. His free agency. He's not good. He's old.
I think mid-June, when Eddie Escobar is hitting 170,
he's not going to be a 170.
I think the Mets are going to look at Simeon.
No, I don't think so.
Pennies on the dollar.
They're going to have some issues, though. The NL East is fucking ridiculous right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is.
Unbelievable how good they are.
Unbelievable. But I can't wait for baseball.
The Phillies are going to be so good. The Braves are going to be so good. Miami's going to be decent.
Yeah. Going to be a great season. Can't wait.
No, it is going to be a fun season. And talking about it is going to be more pumped. But obviously, dude, Rangers. Like, it's hockey season right now. Okay. It's fucking
uphill battle,
January,
though,
dude.
too. I'm pumped, but I'm just saying uphill battle, and I want to see them step up and starts tomorrow. Beat the Bruins. I don't want to hear it.
The Rangers step up, or you want to see the Mets step up?
No, the Rangers. Like you said, pitchers and catchers not till next month. So until then.
All right, good.
But right, I mean, percent confidence though on the way out here
of the Rangers being the Bruins tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow. But
yeah.
Can we get you to a coin flip?
60-40 Rangers.
All right. I mean, that's not bad.
Hopeful
for a team like the Bruins that with 5 regulation losses this year.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. But other than that, Tony, as we wrap it up here, anything on the way out, sir?
Oh yeah, dude. We have a new vlog dropping at noon today. From when Mike, Renee, and I went to the Staten Island Zoo, Brian. Obviously stayed at my house too. So it's a really good time. I will say the Staten Island Zoo, pretty good, like immersive zoo. Obviously everyone thinks, New York City, the Bronx Zoo. Bronx Zoo will take you 4 days to get through. Okay, it's huge, it's cool. Obviously, it's a nice time there, but you want to go a little more low key. Easy parking. You park right there. The parking lot's right in front. You park there. You walk right in. Nothing crazy like the Bronx Zoo. You can get through it obviously in a few hours. Very immersive. Nice staff. Good time. Great vlog. Check it out. Dropping live at noon. So keep your eyes peeled.
Definitely keep an eye out for that. But once again, really like to thank everybody for tuning in and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe, as well as checking out the archives like the Bronx Zoo on our YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee in costume, as well as the merch at downtimetv.com. We want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games, and we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.